This is Drinking at Moe's, and my name is Duncan Aleem.
All right, everybody, taking time out before we get this show started. I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin' Mo's be a brand ambassador for their clothing line. They got good stuff. They got t-shirts, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got lots of great stuff, encouraging everybody to break out of their comfort zone, live their best self, and hey, it's something I try to live every day. Now, be sure when you go and you're filling out your order, use the code Drinking at Moe's, get 10% off, and the link and the code will both be in the description. Let's fucking go. All right, cool. All right. Wow, words are hard right now. Hey, everybody, Drinking at Moe's. Big Mo here. You know the drill by now. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, because that YouTube algorithm is a pain in the ass and I need all the help I can get. Leave a review on the audio platforms too, because hey, helps me out there too. Today, I'm excited to have with me another talent out of H2O Wrestling, doing lots of great things out there on the East Coast. Duncan Aleem, how you doing?
Thank you, man. I'm doing good. It's glad that you asked me to be on your podcast. I appreciate that. It's always nice to know that people is watching, supporting, and appreciating H2O for what we do.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember where and who the first H2O talent that I had on was, because, I mean, by this recording, I've lost count of how many I've had on. And I think it might have been Jess Moss that was the first one.
Yeah, I've seen you. A couple of my friends told me you did Jason, and I know he did Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been interesting.
That was. I know I've had Neil Diamond Cutter on. I've had
Uncle Neil,
and
cool.
even other recordings that I have not yet done. I have a handful more coming on. So it's been a fun time, and
Right.
I had to, because of financial stuff, I had to cut back on some things, and IWTV had been one of them. But after talking with so many of you guys, and hearing about all of these crazy matches, I'm like, well, damn it, I got to go get that back now.
Right.
And yep, I caught every episode of the Uncharted Territory. I've been, Killdozer's Field of Death. That was a crazy one. So
you covered it, or you went to it?
I went to I watched it.
Okay, what you think about it?
Oh, I loved it. That's my type of stuff right there.
The deathmatch
So
stuff. You a big fan of all that?
oh yeah, yep. I'm a huge fan of all that. I mean, I've had I've had some pretty big names in death matches on, from Alex Colon to John Wayne Murdoch to Madman Pondo and oh god, Low Life Louie. I almost forgot about him.
Oh yeah, I love Louis, man. I got him like the biggest four local flag you could ever see. It is crazy. It's
Yeah,
definitely like the size of the American flag. You know, he don't use it a lot, which is kind of hurtful. But I still got it for him. It's
it's the thought that counts, and you know what?
right.
That man does love his Four Loco, so I can imagine he liked receiving that from you.
He did. He did. He's a great guy. Seriously, one of the coolest dudes ever. All of these guys, they says a lot about the type of person you need to be in this business, and he definitely one of those type of people.
No,
Definitely.
most definitely. Now, the first question that I like to ask everybody, mostly the first timers, because it'd be kind of silly asking the same question more than once. What got you started as a fan, and then what made you decide to finally make that leap into the business?
Um, I could just say it's probably one of those days, man, when I was just scrolling through television. As cliche as it sounds, it's like I was just scrolling through television, and then one day I found wrestling on TV, and I've never seen it before, and I watched it, and I just loved it. And from that day forth, I've been like an avid fan of wrestling. And I found one day when I was invited to go to SmackDown,
Mm.
and the first time I ever been to a WWE event, it came to Philly, and because that's where I'm from, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I was just all inspired just by seeing the stage, the production, how many people was there, how people was reacting to the wrestling that was happening. All these people, all their attention just on two guys in the ring. Everyone's just looking for it. It's incredible to see in person. So I just wanted to be a part of it backstage. Just wanted to do that because that was the only thing that really, you know, caught my eye as in a profession. And I just think it was crazy that people was doing it. So one day, I kind of let the passion go. Like I never thought I could actually be a wrestler, to be
Yeah.
honest, because it looked like it hurt like hell. And I was a, that type of guy who would just be like, yeah, mess me up, and hurt me. I'm not that type of guy to just be that ballsy. But one day I was just walking. I met these guys who was doing like backyard wrestling. Thought I'd give it a shot because it could look cool to me. It may not look cool to other people, but it looked cool to me. So,
Yeah.
and I decided to get into it, and from that day forth, was just history. Found myself where I am today. You know, indie wrestler wrestling H2O, and it's crazy to think about how my life is going ever since I decided to wrestle with those guys.
That is I love hearing those little bits of like an origin story, if you will. And it kind of similar how I got into wrestling. I think it was actually at my uncle's house, and he was watching some channels and then flipped over to wrestling, and I just remember seeing the way the crowds were reacting to the people. It was just like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever.
Right? It's just one person, all eyes on them. That's why I love The Rock. Every time he walks out, everyone is just looking at him. They only
Yeah.
care he's saying. It's not a football team. It's not, certain athletes. You know what I mean? It's just one person talking, having fun. And it's just how much they react to him too. It's kind of like, it's not even like looking at like a rock band, you know what I mean? Where it's just four people. It's kind of like a pop star, but not a pop star. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's actually just cooler than singing. It's getting violent. It's getting physical. It's making jokes. It's
No.
talking trash.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything that I love about it. I gravitate towards those intense personalities. So, if they can go on the mic and in the ring and they're looking like, I think one of my personal favorites he's actually over in Japan. I mean, I think most people know of this guy, Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, that dude's awesome.
It's like, especially if you see him with a title around him. And the way he walks to the ring and just that look in his eyes looks like you'd have to damn near kill him to take that damn belt away from him. And just
Right.
from the first moment I saw him, first match, I was like, okay, this guy's one of my dudes.
No, he's tough as hell. Tomohiro Ishii. New Japan Wrestling is just some of the hardest hitting combat you could
Oh,
ever. I mean, those guys go hard.
Yeah, I think I think this was actually the first match of Ishii's that I saw. Like you see some places here in the States and like it was a headbutt. And like you literally heard the bone on bone smack. And I'm like, okay, I have a headache now.
Right. You could. Would you ever think about being a wrestler yourself?
I the thought has crossed my mind. Yeah.
That's cool. You ever tried out before?
Um, I can't say that I have. I was about to one time, but then yeah, the situation was weird and I ended up having to back out, but I ended up later going to pro wrestling boot camp for the same promotion. And yeah, that was something. Running the ropes, taking some bumps, and yeah, I was walking funny for about a week, but yeah, I loved it.
So I'm talking. Yeah, it's a tough experience. My first tryout, I wanted to quit so bad. I mean, it was hot because it was the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
It was COVID, so it was already dangerous as hell. And then on top of that, it was like a deathmatch place, so there's glass everywhere. And it's like it wasn't in a ring, but it was on a concrete ground, so you had to do push-ups, bear crawls, all that stuff. And I mean, it was just you would do a certain amount, and you think, "Oh my God, that's the most I can do." It's like, all right, now do that 3 times. What?
I have heard many stories on how that first day is it's almost meant to be that crazy because people are just trying to see who can they weed out.
Right. It's not about who can they weed out. It shows how you're resolved. That's what they're
You're
looking at, and
yeah,
it shows that if you really want something, how far are you willing to go to get it?
that is a better way to put it. Definitely. Looks like one of my dogs is trying to. I leave my door down to where I record open because I like to I like to have my dog's company every once in a while. And my wife and I, we got an English bulldog, and I can hear him walking down the stairs.
It's cool.
But yeah, like you said, that is a better way to put it. Is like showing the people that are running the tryout and the training, showing them who really wants to be there. If you're willing to go through some of that crazy stuff at the very beginning, you're showing that you're going to be there for whatever else and that you'll do just fine.
Trust me. And on top of that, a lot about what you do in the ring is about ring conditioning.
Yeah.
You can get in the ring. Anybody can, get in the ring. It's about getting in the ring and being good. Getting in the ring, not hurting yourself. Getting in the ring and be able to wrestle a professional wrestling match. And not like a real good one, like a real good professional wrestling match. Like anyone could do a match. Is it going to be good? Probably not. You know what I mean? It depends on all of that. Trust
Oh
me,
yeah.
the tryout is definitely preparing you, but it's only the tip of the iceberg in which you really gonna have to face in a real match.
Oh, I can imagine. And yep, here's my dog. All right. Anyways, okay. Now we mentioned stuff about H2O ran by the one and only Matt Tremont, or I don't want to make him mad, so we're calling him Killdozer now because
Kill
man,
those.
that personality is intense. But
Right.
he had one hell of an amazing 2023. Definitely left off with a bang with shows like there was that, like, I think we talked about Killdozer's Field of Death. That
Right.
was amazing. And Torn to Shreds, that was another one that
Yeah.
capped
So
off December. And there you had a pretty big storyline there towards the end of, well, now last year with turning on Kaos Ctrl. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Okay.
I did. I definitely did turn on them for sure.
Yeah, and now for those that might not be as familiar with some of the story as I've been able to reacclimate myself after getting the IWTV back, explain to people that will end up watching and listening what happened there.
It all started off when we was all boys. I mean, we got history. I mean, me, Brian, and Cecilio Vega and Rocket, we've known each other for almost about 5 to 6 to 7, 8 years now. And we started this business together. And you know, they were slightly more successful than we were, which, you know, it comes with the territory. Some guys, they win things faster, they go places faster, they win championships faster. And you know, that's just how it goes. But you know, when that happens, you know, you can't help but get a little jealous because,
Yeah.
you know, where was you when I needed that help? I was always there supporting you. I was the guy on the sidelines when you won your championship, but you never was there for me when I needed you to help me when I was getting my ass whooped by these guys. Or you never gave a shit about me when you won that title. You didn't invite me to be a part of your group. You didn't invite me to be a part of your tag team. And I just it honestly is a little personal too because I feel like a lot of people don't take me seriously. Like I think they think I'm a joke. I think they think I'm just here to just be there and to make people laugh and stuff like that. I got goals too, aspirations too. I'm not comfortable where I'm at. And I feel like people put me in the spot where I don't want to be and they keep me there. And I feel like I'm trapped under the shadow of Kaos Ctrl.
Mm.
So yeah, I turned on them because I don't want to be where they want to keep me. You know what I mean?
I can get you. You know, you one of those situations where it's like, oh, now like they almost you feel like they. I'm trying to figure out a good way to put this. That they're kind of forgetting who helped them along the way to their success, and
Right.
just kind of like I said, forgetting about you and that you were there, and now you're. Oh, I posted about this quote that if you feel like you deserve more and you're better than where you're at, go out and fucking take it. You only got yourself to that's stopping you, and it kind of that from when you were describing it, feel like that kind of fits here. You believe that you deserve more, that you're better
Yeah.
than just being left behind like they're doing. So you just decided, you know what? I deserve more. I'm gonna go out and fucking take it.
And I am fucking taking it, Mo.
So far, definitely.
You know, fucking take it, Mo. And you know what? I'm gonna take it from them. Just like how I cost them their tag team titles at the
Oh
last,
yeah.
and just how I turned on them at the Killdozers Feel the Death. Or was it turned to I don't even know. But just like how I turned on them, I'm gonna continue to keep doing that. Because we fought them at Killdozers Feel the Death. And it was violent.
Oh,
And yet
that it was.
show, we cost them their tag titles, or maybe they cost themselves their tag titles, and now they lost it because we exposed them for what they were.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to show the fans who I really am and who I want to be. And I want to
Yeah.
get I'm not going to get better by staying where I was.
Oh yeah. You can't get better staying in the same place. That is for sure. Now, was gonna say that match that you brought up at Kildore's Field of Death, that it was only being able to be won by tap out or knockout. And yeah, that was intense.
I didn't appreciate the stipulation to that match. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was a stupid stipulation. It favored them. That's why we dipped. I didn't like that. We're gonna win. If we're gonna beat them, we're gonna beat them right in a normal professional wrestling match, tag team, no weapons needed. And when we eventually we lost to the Pillars, Tommy Vendetta and MM3 from ICW and the NHB. And when we eventually get back at them for coming to our promotion and stealing our titles, and we take the tag team titles from them, me and my partner Brian Neal, then we'll give them that one-on-one match that we deserve.
You, you know, and there is something to be said about, wanting a match that there's no opening for a, oh well, they had this or they had that advantage. Going in there just straight up down and dirty, no nonsense wrestling. I can see the appeal to that. You want no excuses left on the table.
No excuses, no weapons, no double teaming, none of that stuff. Just straight up, down the middle, referee, a pinfall, submission, and with titles on the line, hopefully.
Yeah, that would add that little something extra. And you bring up Brian Neal there. I'm actually going to be recording with him a little later this month. So
Yeah, he told me.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to him. Now, we mentioned one guy that you are having a match coming up here at Cage of Hell, which that show is shaping up to be one hell of a damn show so far. You got Cecilio Vega, one of those guys from Kaos Ctrl. Now, and so far, from what I'm aware, this is going to be kind of a one-on-one version of what you're wanting with the tag titles. Just no extra, no excuses left on the table. Mano y mano, straight up action.
Right. It hurts because Cecilio Vega is was one of my best friends. So it's never good when you got to fight a friend. And to be honest, if I have to say who my beef is, really, it's not just with Cecilio Vega. It's more so with Rocket because he's the one who left us behind. Cecilio Vega, he feels like it's personal between me and him. Between me and him, it's just about the titles. It's personal between me and Rocket. So, I mean, if he went to the boss and asked for that match. He went to the booker. He said, I want Duncan Aleem in a one-on-one match. I personally did not want that match. I didn't want it to happen at all. I thought it was unfair. But he got the match, and he needs to be careful what he wishes for because I got his number. See, I was there when Don debuted. I know the type of wrestler he is, and I know how to beat him. I mean, anyone knows you well. It's your boy. I know exactly where to hit you. I know exactly how hard to punch him in this big ass belly. I know exactly what I need to do. So I'm not afraid. You got the match signed, but did you really think it through, Cecilio Vega? Did you really think it through? I don't think you did.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And yeah, you make a good point that nobody knows you like your best friends. So when something like this comes up and you're on opposing sides, yeah, you know every little way of how to really inflict some damage.
On top of that, I know he's a submission guy, but he's not as fast as me. He's not as resilient as me. Agility, ability, nobility, all the abilities. He don't have it. It's not going to match up. And I can see right through his crusty ass. I'm gonna be honest. I can see right through him. And I know exactly what he's gonna do, and I know exactly what he's gonna say. What he needs to be worried about is fixing his relationship with his tag team partner. So me and Brian Neal can worry about how we're gonna bring the titles back from the pillars back to H2O. They are the H2O tag titles. And those guys didn't deserve it, and they stole it. And Kaos Ctrl let them steal it.
Yeah.
That I'm talking about. And we're still in the bottom of the dumps. That's why I don't get it.
Yeah, no, and you know what? With what you're wanting to accomplish, it would be kind of fitting for you and Brian Neal to be the guys to bring those titles back to H2O. That would be pretty fitting.
Right. No one told those pillars guys what happens to people who don't mind their own fucking business. They're gonna get what they got coming to them because they should have never butted their heads up in that match. It didn't make no took advantage of a stressful, high profile situation. And we're gonna get them back for that shit. I can promise you that.
And you know, unless it happens before, which hey, cool if it does. H2O's got something big coming up around. I believe it might be WrestleMania week with the anthology. Would be kind of fitting with the big week that is going to be, bringing those titles back to H2O there. I mean, like I said, if it don't happen before.
When it comes to that weekend, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I already got a couple bookings going on that weekend, to be honest. But the biggest show of the year for H2O, we're definitely doing something. It's called the Anthology. I don't know specific words, but it's Anthology when it's going to be a collection of different promotions going to be at the H2O Wrestling Center in April. Hopefully, it's going to be a big show for H2O. Hopefully, the Pillars is going to be walking their ass through to the H2O Wrestling Center. Hopefully, me and Brian can secure title shots. And hopefully, we can do something that I always wanted to do, and that's win a title.
That would be pretty epic, and being able to do that on the big weekend that we all know it's going to be kind of it would kind of make it that much sweeter on the big stage that's going to be.
On top of WrestleMania being in Philadelphia, I meant the made in heaven. I've been waiting for this my whole life. It has to happen like this.
No, yeah.
Stars lining up. It got to be done.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta be done. I'll drink to that shit. Because we drinking with Moe's.
Yes. I like it. And you know, little outside of H2O, I have yet to actually go to a WrestleMania or hell, a pay-per-view of any kind. Last time they held, well, anybody held a pay-per-view here, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. And the last time they or anybody held a pay-per-view here was in 2008, and it was right before I left for the Navy, right before I left for Navy boot camp.
Okay.
And it's been that long.
Hey, man. Come to Philly. Can watch the big show here. You know I'm going to be there. You're going to see a lot of guys that you interviewed, I bet you.
Oh, yeah. You know what? And I have always been thinking about, since I started talking to the talent at H2O that I have so far, that, you know what, it would be kind of cool to show up at a show, see everybody in person, and get to witness live what I've become quite the fan of through IWTV. That would be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's still crazy to me that there's people that watch on IWTV. We be so like mixed in like what we doing and watching the fans personal, because the fans up in personal is a lot different than watching on IWTV. Both are still good. You know, I definitely would suggest getting IWTV. You know, it's cheap and it's probably one of the best wrestling streaming apps that you could get. So I'm glad you do find this on IWTV, because I know there's a bunch of other wrestling to watch. And the fact that us is, I appreciate the hell out of that. So I'm going to be honest, Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You're, you're very welcome. That, you know, there is a lot of different options on there, and hell, there's a few other wrestling streaming platforms that have quite the variety. So being able to pick up on something that you thoroughly enjoy, got
right,
to stick with it.
right. And
Yeah.
that's the
Oh,
same thing. Yep. You know, wrestling is going to be just going to be a very interesting year. I heard it's the year of the dragon. That's what they saying over
yeah.
the year of the dragon, and I just want to know how that's going to shape out. And I don't know what type of year this might be. I can't tell if it's going to be a really dope one. It's going to be a really crazy one. Because there's a lot of stuff going on this year that we're going to find out.
Yeah. And hell, it's already shaping up to be one hell of a crazy year. It ended on a bit of a crazy note and looks like it's just going to carry through into this year.
Right. Definitely. The end of last year was nuts. It's always weird. I was having a pretty good end of the year. Then stuff kind of went south because I had turned on my boys, so that was kind of sad at first. But now stuff is looking up because I got a tag team title championship match. Then it's looking down because the Pillars screwed us. We were screwed. You know, I'm be honest. I think I might press charges. I think what they did was an act of terrorism. So we're going to find out. We're going to press charges against them. We're going to see what they did was robbery or not. Him,
Yeah,
Stanley,
highway robbery, I tell you.
yeah. Also, the Stanley Cup winner, Darren McCarthy. I don't know how much you know about him.
I know a little bit.
Right. He was there too. I know he won the Stanley Cup. He's been on TV and stuff, but he screwed us too. So I don't really care about him. We'll be pressing charges on him too. We're going to be litigating that situation. We will get those titles back. Don't worry. But now it's 2024. It's just the beginning. It's only the first few couple of days. Everything's going kind of okay now. We'll see how it goes on Cage of Hell. I'm thinking it's going to be good. I'm thinking I'm going to whip down Cecilio Vega's ass. And then we're going to see how we're going to get these title shots. So pretty interested and looking forward to seeing that on top of the other outside promotions I'm working for as well.
Before we get into the two categories I have here that I round stuff off with, go into some of those that are, outside of H2O.
Okay, good. I would love to do that. I wrestle for Smash Master Pro Wrestling. It's 570 professional wrestling is a promotion up in the middle, eastern Pennsylvania area, like
Okay.
Scranton Civic and them. Those guys are awesome. I definitely see you check them out. Smash Master Wrestling. I wrestle for Labor of Love. It's a Philly-based promotion ran by Billy Avery. He's a really cool guy. They're going to be doing some stuff. Definitely check those guys out. Orochi Pro. They're also kind of middle and eastern Pennsylvania. Definitely check those guys out. I'll be doing that too. I'm not sure what else I got going on, but I definitely got those three guys I'm definitely working for next year. Those three promotions for next year. It's going to be nice.
Definitely going to keep my eye out on those. Now, kind of going back into H2O with the categories I have here, one being a name game, I try to theme it towards the guests as much as possible. And this time, not only has each person been involved with H2O in some way, shape, or form, they've also been a former guest of the show.
Okay.
First one, and well, I give you the name, you give me quick thoughts on the person.
Okay. That sounds
First,
fun.
first one, JB Anderson.
Oh yeah, JB, he's all right. Another guy that came from out of town. He's been doing a lot of stuff here very fast, very quick. He reminds me of the Pillars coming in and taking opportunities. But hey, he's worked his ass off for us, so I can't blame him. I can't get mad at him either. He put up a hell of a fight against the Killdozer. Now I like
He did.
that. I got in the ring with Killdozer, man, Tremont or whatever he calls himself now. He whooped my ass. When he hits you, that shit hurts.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of one of those.
I can't forget it. I was traumatized. I might be pressing charges.
All right, next one. Now that I remember it, I was forgetting about this for a second. His is actually one of my top 10 most viewed episodes on the YouTube channel, Anthrax.
Yeah, Anthrax, me and him had a beef over the undiscovered title a long time ago, a couple of years back. We kind of started together, so I know Anthrax really well. Sick motherfucker wants to get into this deathmatch shit real bad. I think he's doing a good job at it in the beginning of his career. I could definitely see him getting a lot crazier in the later part of his career. Guy who's ass whooped by Scratch. Don't forget that. Anthrax ass whoop. It tends to happen a lot, to be honest. But he's a sick guy. Sometimes they put on some face paint on, they call it crayons sometimes. I think it's funny. But yeah, he's a cool dude. Scary dude. He's a bald dude. Pretty chill.
I mean, bald, I kind of.
Oh, see, y'all got that in common.
We got that a little bit in common, yeah. But I mean, he had quite that good run there in the uncharted territory with the deathmatch discovery gauntlet. That
Yeah.
first little start, he had a nice little run there.
He's really good at deathmatch or something. I say that he's better at deathmatching than actual wrestling. He found his niche. He found something that he's good at. Man, he's going to keep doing it. He's going to only get better. It's going to only get scarier. Only going to get sicker. Probably going to get more cut up. So you'll see that happening sooner or later.
That's going to be interesting to see and to keep my eye out for. Now, this one, we kind of talked about him a little bit ago. I'm talking about Low Live Louie.
Oh, you got to talk to Louie. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
Oh, man, that was a fun episode. That was such a good one.
He's funny. He's real funny. Yeah, Low Life Louie is a lot of respect on his name. He's one of the H2O Hall of Famers. Would love to get to wrestle him before he goes out. That's all I can really say about him. He's really the dopest guy, nicest dude, coolest dude. Everyone loves him. It's not a lot of people everybody loves. I think they honestly actually really like him, which is weird because not everyone likes everybody, but I think everyone likes him. So that's good.
Yeah, he is definitely one of those that I have not heard anybody ever say a bad word about him. And
Yeah.
I know I definitely don't have a bad word to say about him. Love him. All right, last but not least here, she was a part of H2O for a little bit, a good little bit, won a title, and now she's on to big things there with AEW, Ring of Honor, Billy Starks.
Damn. Can't believe that. You asked me about Billy Starks. She's crazy. She's young, and I haven't seen a work ethic that she has. Her work ethic is incredible. And to be honest, she travels a lot. She's amazing in the ring. She's probably one of the best female wrestlers I've seen live. Either her or Masha Slamovich, I can only say those two were the best female wrestlers I've seen live and in person. And she's good. For her to be as young, like she's younger than me, and for her to be as young as she is and going as far as she has at that young age, and
Yeah.
you know how it is to be an indie wrestler for real, and to know how much it takes to traveling, the time wasted, to sacrifice on top of graduating high school, maybe going to college, signed a contract at 18, making money. I mean, I can't believe it. It is really crazy to see. And I've met her a couple times. I hung out with her one time. Really, not really. She's so famous, it's hard to be around her. But Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did hang out with her one time. She's cool as shit. I hope I get to see her again because she's not always around. I'm not
It
sure about maybe I
now
maybe
main event and pay-per-views with Death Before Dishonor and stuff, and man, sky's the limit. I gotta have her on, and then I've only got to see her live the one time at Sammy Callahan's promotion, Wrestling Revolver. It was a part of a big scramble match, and I got my picture with her somewhere around here in my collection that I have yet to actually display. But yeah, no, nothing but great things. The sky's not even the limit for her, and
right.
I mean, she's only going to get better.
She's good. She's good. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'll ever get to see her again. But when I did see her, she was nice. She was, I think she yelled at me the first time she met me. But other than that, yeah, pretty good. Pretty nice.
All right. Now I have some kind of random questions. Some might be wrestling related, some might not be. Some might have absolutely nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far. That's why they're random.
Hey.
So I give you the question, you give me a first answer that pops into your head.
Right.
First one, craziest in-match moment for you.
Craziest in-match moment? Man, it would probably have anytime I got hit in the head hard as shit with a chair. That's crazy. It don't feel good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It feels like you're getting hit with a fucking pole. And it's definitely blunt. It feels like you got hit with something hard as hell. It looks a lot better than it feels. I can tell you that. I can't. I would have to say in match moment. Either get that or when I got hit with a light tube. I think that's pretty crazy. I haven't done
Yeah.
much crazy shit yet.
Yeah, I like to keep that question in this category because I've definitely, in the damn near 200 episodes I've had so far, I've had some crazy stories involving that question. So I always love asking it.
Oh yeah, I would have to say I used to work with my tag team partner Jeff Cannonball.
Mm.
Anytime he would make a joke next to me in the middle of the match, and I just start laughing my ass off. And he's just a funny ass dude. Like one time, I was wrestling me and my boy Austin Luke, the H2O champion. We was wrestling Fall Out Bar. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah.
The ball drop kick depression, and we were in the middle of the match, and we went to give them um, sunset flips, and before they fell on us because we couldn't get them, so they basically what was his name? Yokozuna us
Mm.
with the drop, which which hurt like a motherfucker, by the way, because I
Oh,
got
imagine.
big as hell. And before they fell on us and basically cracked my rib cage, uh, they made a joke. So I don't know what it was, but they brought up something that happened backstage. I think it was something about how Austin ate all the catering. And I
Mm.
didn't expect this. So I started laughing. As soon as I started laughing, he fell up on my chest and broke me. I couldn't breathe. I was like lost for breath. But
Oh, I can imagine. I know, if you bring it up, I've actually had the pleasure of actually getting to see Yokozuna live once. My first ever WWE show was him versus Big Boss Man.
oh my god, that must have been so long ago. God damn.
Yeah, yeah, I was like in third grade, and I remember it was actually my favorite Christmas present I ever got was tickets to that show, and we were main floor, maybe less than 10 rows from the ring and right by the entrance. So I'm this little third grade kid, and here comes Yokozuna walking by me. I'm like, I need a change of pants.
Right. Some of the biggest dudes you ever see in your life. The guys are ginormous. Seriously. They ain't like getting in a ring with a big ass dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You think you tough till you wrestle somebody that's like 6'7", 300 pounds.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, now next question I have here, especially in a promotion like H2O and some of these other promotions that are known for the hardcore and deathmatch style, lots of weapons getting thrown around. What would you say is a weapon you would like to avoid being used on you if you had the choice?
Probably like a barbed wire bat. Anything barbed wire on it. Barbed wire in general. Barbed wire hurts, man. I was going to use it one time in a match, and then I touched it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you definitely got to be careful around.
Yeah, I'm not. Definitely not. Barbed wire bat. Hell no. Hell no. I don't
I've
even
had
be doing a car. How do people do that shit? Carpet
the
strip?
carpet strips. Oh my god, funny story with that. I was watching. I believe it was one of the Uncharted territories, and it was probably one of the. Yep, it was one of the deathmatch discovery gauntlet matches where they had a whole mess of carpet strips around. And my wife was actually in the room watching with me. And she's like, oh, are those carpet strips? And then some guy gets thrown into them. And she's like, oh my God.
They are crazier in person, and they sharp as hell. It's just unpleasant. It's not pleasant. I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. That's why I'm not a deathmatch guy. I'm sorry. I can't do it like they do it. Those guys are. That's why they get paid extra to do it. They
No, no, it's a whole different animal, as I like to say.
Yeah, you're not lying. This is ridiculous. I'll be honest.
All right. Now, as of recording tonight, we are just a little ways past Christmas. And I kind of mentioned one of my favorite Christmas gifts, that WWE show. What would you say is one of your most your favorite memory of a Christmas gift that you received growing up, or hell, even recently?
Hey man, you shouldn't even know, man. My favorite Christmas gift I ever got, and you know I'm a man, which means at one point I was a boy, and you know what boys love? They love video game consoles. And my favorite Christmas gift was my grandparents. They got me a PS3
Ooh,
on Christmas, and it was because it was on Christmas. Back when it came out, it had to be my favorite Christmas gift I've ever gotten. So I was happy as shit. My PlayStation 3, it was from them. I love my grandparents because they always got me the best gifts. So that was probably my favorite Christmas gift I ever got because I didn't get that many Christmas gifts. So my mother doesn't celebrate Christmas. But I got it from my grandparents, so that was nice.
I that's epic. That's epic. Definitely one that would be hard to beat for sure, especially for a guy that, hell, I still like my video games from time to time.
Right. Oh no, I can't even, it's been a minute since I've been a gamer. Had to find something to get me back into it. But when I was a child, when I was a kid, it's kind of all I had. You know, growing up only child, video
No,
games escape from.
gotcha. All right. Now, with the name of a show like I have, I would feel weird if I didn't have this question in here. Favorite drink? And I always like to tell people, it just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean that it has to be alcoholic. Although I do enjoy a few adult beverages from time to time.
If I have to say my favorite alcohol, it had to be peanut butter whiskey.
That's a solid choice.
Solid. Gets me messed up too. My favorite beer, um, will probably have to be Miller Lite. It's the best beer going now. I'm not a fan of any of the crazy ass IPAs that people drink. Uh, it's too sweet for me. I once drunk a 4 pack of IPAs, and I was so hung over, and it was ridiculous. And I was throwing up fruity beer. It was disgusting. I couldn't do that again. And I was only four. It was only 4 cans of beer, and I
Yeah,
threw up. And that worse than I've ever done, and it was disgusting. It left the nasty taste in my mouth. I can't do IPAs. I'm not. If you're a fan of them, you know what I mean. Maybe if it was Stone Cold's beer, if it was
yeah,
Stone Cold IPAs, I'd drink that. I'm not going. But it's just got to be his. No, none
yeah.
of the fruity stuff.
Oh yeah, some of those craft ones, yeah. I but well before you mentioned it, yeah, I was gonna say Stone Cold's one ain't bad. I do
Yeah.
prefer his American Lager over the IPA one, but they're both pretty damn good.
Oh, they're both pretty good. I'm be honest. Like Miller Lite, Stone Cold's beer was nice. Um, Sometimes I like twisted teas. I'm not
Some of those are good.
feeling gross. Uh, and That's pretty much what I love. Fireball too. It's really good. Just had me a couple Fireball shots just now. So yeah.
All right. Now, last but not least, here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into wrestling.
If you want to be a wrestler, you have to be prepared to do things that other people won't do, and you're gonna have to be prepared to sacrifice for real. So I would suggest getting your life in order before you try to be a wrestler. Have a job that you can do where you can still wrestle and train. Have some money where you can save to get yourself gear. Make sure that you know you're gonna have to have when you right off the bat, you're gonna need money for gear on top of paying the tuition. So have money saved, something that I wasn't, and be prepared. When you're prepared, you work on your presentation, all of that stuff does good for you because I can tell you from personal, when you're not prepared, you don't have gear, you don't got money ready, you're not prepared to, sacrifice time on a job to wrestle. You have to be able to be 100% committed because if you're not 100% committed, your career is going to go crazy slow and you might not go anywhere. You might not even get a match.
Yeah.
Something I'm still working on today. So that's what I would say. Be prepared for what you're about to get into. Seriously, because if you're not prepared, it will fuck you up mentally. So that's pretty much the only advice I could give you.
No, hey, great advice because yeah, if you're wanting to get anywhere in the business, yeah, you want to be prepared for all the stuff outside of in-ring work that you're going to need to deal with because
Traveling,
you don't want to not be prepared for it and then you're wondering why the hell am I not getting booked.
right? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. People just see you wrestle. They don't see, how long it took to get to that place. They don't see, how much money you had to spend in the gas. They don't see how many friends you had to actually give you a ride. They don't see none of that. They don't see you being there for 10 hours, you know, getting paid next to nothing, but having the time of your life for like 10 minutes and then leaving and then driving is 10 hours back home. They don't see none of that stuff. They don't really see the in betweens of what happens and how much it really takes a toll. It is tough. And like even myself, man, I'm still trying to ease my way into all of that. And that's why I feel how I feel right now. It's why I turned on it because it's like I do want to take off. I do want to be like Billy Starks and Marcus Matters and all those guys that's doing all the big things and traveling and having fun. I want to get to that point, but I gotta fix what's going on in my life so I can get to that point and, truly do this for real.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure, you're getting on that track to getting all that stuff done, and it'll only be no time before you're just on the new heights.
Right. Thanks, Mom.
You're very welcome. Well, before we go, where can people find you social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you, they can go ahead and get them there.
On Instagram is at the Real Soul Survivor 1 or is at the Soul Survivor 1. On X, formerly known as Twitter, is at Duncan Aleem _ H2O. Duncan Aleem on Facebook. You can find all of that. You can look up on YouTube, Duncan Aleem. You have some matches of me popped up. You can look on Google. You can find my name. All these things. Just look up Duncan Aleem. You should be able to find all my socials on Google.
Oh, yeah. We'll get them all in the description. Want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. And best of luck out there. Hopeful that you will have a very great 2024.
You too, Mo. And I hope
Thank
that you.
Oh,
Come H2O shows.
I'm looking into getting out there for sure. And yeah, as of this recording, once it's uploaded and scheduled out, it will be episode 198.
Oh, I'm honored. Yeah.
Almost at 200.
So close, so close.
So close. Yep. Well, that is about all I have. Thank you again. And I look forward to all that I'm going to see of you this year.
Thanks, Mo. Appreciate it. You're doing a good job, man. Keep up with the podcast. It only gets easier over time.
Thank you. That means a lot.